What's up, everybody? Byron here from ETA, and I got a 3-week update on the Masada Slim. And this is also an update on the Orpaz holster, which we'll go through here in a minute. First step, obviously, make sure it's clear. So, this is the Masada Slim Elite. This has been a holy grail gun for me because it took me over 3 years to track one down. And I am not freaking disappointed at all. I made one modification other than putting the optic on it. This is the O-Sight SE. Fabulous optic. Great, great. Very happy with it. Very happy with the performance of it. It's holding zero just fine. It's extremely accurate. I like it. I like the fact that I can still maintain the irons for longer distance work. And then I can use the dot for everything at reasonable self-defense distances. This is a very incredibly balanced pistol when you have it on your waistline. And I know that sounds a little weird to say, but I just want to give you some examples. This is my Shadow. And this is my general everyday carry gun. I really want to make sure that this is clear. So this is the Smith & Wesson. Oh, you know what? It'd probably help if I brought that back a little, huh? Hey, now you can see it. So this is the Shadow CR920XP. Absolutely love this gun. However, it's not always the best to carry every day. I have some modifications to it where I've put a little beaver tail on it. And to follow up on that, I just took a little bit of 80 grit sandpaper and knocked the very peaks off of this beaver tail. And now it is quite comfortable, stays planted, and I don't get slide bite. But it is a little long sometimes for everyday carry. Shield Plus, absolutely love this gun. You'll find I have very few complaints about it. And in fact, this is one of the highest rated guns in my carry arsenal. The only mods I've done to it are I put an optic on it and I added some Talon grip around the back of the slide here just to take the sharp edge off of those machine marks, because I found as a big guy that these were kind of digging into the side of my love handles just a little bit. Pardon me. Now the Masada. This is like the Goldilocks, okay? I greatly prefer 4-inch firearms for my carry guns, as you can tell by here. This is a 3.5 inch. It's a little bit fatter, right? But you can kind of see the difference here. Slightly longer on the bottom, although not that long, because this is a 13 round magazine for the Shield Plus, and this is how I carry it. So I just want to show you how that interacts with my grip. CR920XP, this has the same grip length as a G48, but it has a built-in little mag well at the bottom, which gives me a much better purchase. You guys have seen my Glock 48 in previous reviews. You know that I've added a mag well to it. And here's a Masada. Also has a nice little mag well built into it. Has just the right amount of grip, and now because of the interchangeable back straps, I get a little bit of a length of pull adjustment, and I mean I can just clamp down on this pistol and it doesn't move. So again, this is just, I'm at 600 rounds through this pistol already, and at some point I'm going to run the remaining 400 through and I'll have my 1,000 round review on the gun. The only other thing I've done is I added a little bit of Talon grip to each side of the backstrap spacer, which was smooth. And I found that just that little bit of Talon grip right there took it from really good to really amazing. So that just gives me that little bit of extra grip. I can do everything that I need to do with it. Second, the takedown on the gun has actually become remarkably easier after I got to about 400 rounds through it. I'm just going to show you real quick. You pop this slide forward, you lock the slide to the rear, you pop this forward, and then you remove that little pin right there. You use a set of pliers, but you just pull the slide back slightly. So if you've ever taken apart a Browning high power or Glock, it's not that dissimilar. And now I can actually pop this pin out with my fingernails, what little fingernails I do have. So go ahead, I'm just going to tuck it back in. I don't feel like taking it apart right now. Something I did find that I thought was a little interesting, in case you're wondering how this takedown lever functions, when you pull the slide to the rear, you're moving the slide stop up, which takes the tension off of this cover for the pin. You can just kind of do it that way. But you can't actuate it forward without the slide stop going up. That's how that mechanism works. Spent a little time puzzling that out for you. This is quite literally one of the smoothest guns I've ever had. If you own a CZ pistol or you've handled a CZ pistol, you know what I'm talking about. This is CZ smooth. It is so smooth. It is so well machined. It is so well finished. Like this is one of my holy grail guns for a reason. I got the Masada full size and I absolutely love it. This, to me, is a better buy. If you're looking for your first concealed carry firearm, this is a damn good choice because it gives you adaptability. The other thing I found that I didn't notice until the second range trip, there actually is a little bit of red right here on the extractor that'll pop out. So if there's a round in the chamber, it will actually, you'll see just a sliver of red. I don't believe in relying in that personally. Pull it back, physically look, let it go. There's no excuses, but if that's you, then that's you, right? Next, we're going to talk about the Orpez holster, just to give you a little update on that. If you notice, there's no sweat guard. So I've got a little feedback for Orpez holsters. I hope you see this video. If you run the sweat guard on the outside the way that you're supposed to, those posts stick in here, and because of the extra cuts on the Elite, those posts catch right here and cause a little bit of a mechanical lock. So you got to really yank that thing in and out. So if you have the Orpez Defense holster and a Masada Slim Elite, you're not going to run the sweat guard. Now, this doesn't bother me at all. I can put this on my waist, jump in the car, go on a road trip with this pistol. It's extremely comfortable. This is also extremely comfortable on road trips, and this is usually pretty all right. But this is just right. It doesn't really beat up against you too much. It's just a short enough barrel length that it doesn't interact with the bottom of my seat cushion while I'm driving my car. It just sits exactly where I put it. It is very, very capable to be drawn and employed while you're seated, seat belted in a car, which I can do with this and my Tenacor holster. And I can do with this, although it's not as practical for reholstering. This I can reholster. This I can reholster. And even under a tighter fitting shirt like this one is, I'm going to show you that this holster does a great job. Let me just hike up my britches, get it into position. Now, see that? Still get a full firing grip when I draw. Can reholster, and carrying strong side with a tight fitting shirt. I mean, it's always going to print a little, but you can move around with it. It's pretty good, I think. Most people are not going to see that. And like I said, seated in a car, if you have to, you can. So this is just a quick little update. This is all probably going to get tagged into the initial impressions. So this will be the part 2 of the initial impressions, which I'm still editing. I had some lost audio, so there's a lot of shit that just I've got footage for, but no audio. So this is my attempt to kind of cover it and then bring us up to the current. I fired 600 rounds of everything from 115. I've got some 85 grain frangible munition that usually choke most pistols. We're going to see if it'll run through here. I'm going to run 5 through the Shadow because I'm curious. I'm going to run 5 through the Shield Plus also just because I'm curious. It's an 85 grain 9mm bullet at over 1400 feet per second allegedly. So we're going to kind of see how that does and if it even cycles the gun. And if it does, then good Lord, these things will run with anything. Other than that, one kind of unique thing that I've noticed about this pistol, it doesn't really matter if I run 115 or 124 grain. Normally, like for self-defense loads, I carry 124 grain plus P. And what I've found is that 124s and 115 shoot damn near the same POA with a 1-inch difference. So I've got this currently sighted in for 124 grains, and basically they'll hit the top of the bullseye, and if I put 115s, I'll hit the bottom of the bullseye. And even in a mixed magazine, I mean, this thing still prints phenomenal groups. This thing is capable of sub 2-inch groups at 12 yards, which for a gun with a 3.5-inch barrel and a carry gun is actually quite good. Okay, just throwing that out there. Something somebody told me, never buy your carry gun off of a spec sheet. Buy it off of how it feels and shoots. So I'm enjoying that sub 4-pound trigger. It's right about 4 pounds. Which actually, you know what? That brings me up. That's a good choice since we're here and we're doing an update. The original Masada, if you guys recall, the trigger pull lightened up at about this point. So let's see if this one has lightened up a little bit. It has certainly cleaned up a little. Okay. So we got her zeroed out. Cycle it. And okay. 4.1. 3.81. 3.15. I think that's how I think that was me, not the actual. All right. That's aberration. I'm not going to throw that into the average. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I definitely goofed that one. There we go. So we're still pretty consistent around exactly the 4-pound mark. The Masada full size ended up with about a 3.6 to 3.9 trigger weight average. And this is coming in pretty consistent around the 4-pound mark. A couple of them were like 3.9, a couple of them were like 4.1, 4.2. So right in that ballpark, right? What does that translate to? Well, you got every pistol has slop, just like that. This happens to have a very nice tactical pontoon trigger, but there's still a little bit of slop before you get to the wall. So for this one, you get to the wall, Clean brake at the 90. Look at that. Nice short reset right at the 90. And you're there again. This one, slightly longer reset, but right at the 90. And your brake, this is the performance center trigger. All three of these pistols essentially have the same trigger. And in fact, the last range session, I would do 5 rounds, 5 rounds, 5 rounds, and they all shot the same. Whether that's a testament to me or the guns, I'll leave that up to you. But nice and tight. Nice and tight. Nice and tight. If I grab my canic and shake it, it sounds like a rattle can of spray paint. Anyway, I'm Byron. This has been a little update. Y'all have a great rest of your day.